Oh, what that dang dang. And go denyo. Oh, what that dang dang. This is the voice of the Patriot, where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must, it would only be on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. Again here, we are not neutral. We have taken sides, the side of the truth. That is why we are affectionately called the headquarters of the truth. And my name, Blakk Rasta. This is our daily editorial. It is called the voice of the Patriot. Now the very first story we are looking at today is taken from Ghana Web, and it says, Kisi Ejabing is not the conscience of the nation. Pebu backs Jampo. And I read, Martin Pebu, a member of the anti-corruption team, Operation Recover or Loot, has criticized the special prosecutor Kisi Ejabing, accusing him of failing to act decisively in high-profile corruption matters. Now, taken to social media on Wednesday, November 5, 2025, Pebu said the special prosecutor Kisi Ejabing failed to alert oral or relevant security agencies when former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta allegedly attempted to leave the country. He argued that such inaction amounted to a betrayal of the public trust. According to him, the special prosecutor had access to security contacts who could have acted swiftly if alerted per his recent utterances. Pebu referenced earlier public commentary by political scientist Prof. Ransford Jampo, saying recent developments proved Jampo right in questioning whether Ejabing acted as the conscience of the nation. Now, my brother, my sister, Kisi Ejabing has been under fire for some time now. Ghanaians are so expectant of so many people inundating our jailhouses. Ghanaians are waiting to see people jailed. Ghanaians are tired of the looting, the stealing. Ghanaians are so tired of the brazen arrogance of our politicians. And therefore, they want to see them locked up, those that have been involved in corruption and crime. So a few days ago, Kisi Ejabing granted an interview to KSM and told KSM that the president was in power, the president who disliked him, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and in his regime, he made sure that the office of the special prosecutor was stifled. In other words, it was made powerless. My brother, my sister, a cousin of the president, Kenneth Nana Ofori-Atta, who had been fingered in wrong places in the echelons of crime and corruption. My brother, my sister, walked out of the country as if it was a walk in the park, whilst the office of the special prosecutors, Kisi Ejabing, sat back, mouth agape, and watched powerlessly while the man drifted in all pomp and pageantry outside this country. Today, he's crying wolf. He said he had been made powerless. His uncle's party was in power, and any security agencies that I spoke to did not mind me. And he cited the immigration. Yes, you will talk to the immigration and nobody is ready to speak to you. Today, Ransford Jampo, Kisie Jabing and my very good friend Martin Kpebu are in a certain tango, and that tango is questioning if Kisie Jabing acted as the conscience of the nation. My brother, my sister, now what is this thing all about? Who did Kisie Jabing try to speak to try and stop Ken Ofori-Atta from leaving the country? Or did he just assume that, oh, his uncle is in power, no matter who I contact, nothing would happen? Do we have documents to show? Do we have any evidence? Or did he think for the nation at the time? Did he have the nation's thought first in his mind? Or it was all about his own whims and caprices? Today he's been questioned. And I am interested in knowing this. Kisie Jabing, did he act as the conscience of the nation? Did he have the nation's interest at heart? Who did he contact at the time that Ken Ofori-Atta was living? Or is it just an alibi to make him look good? My brother, my sister, if we are still gathering information about Ken Ofori-Atta, updating our files and documents every now and then, can Kisie Jabing come out and tell us point blank that at the time that Ken Ofori-Atta was leaving the country, he had enough evidence to hold him down and crucify him at least? Did he have that? Today, the Attorney General is asking for a certain docket. They are not ready with the docket yet. Were they ready at the time that Ken was leaving the country with enough evidence to hold the man down or put him on a no-flight list? These are the questions we need to answer. And Martin Kpebu and Professor Jampo are asking the right questions. Did he act in the interest of the nation? Did he play as the conscience of the nation? Was he supposed to play that? These are the questions people are asking. Of course, the office of the special prosecutor is not a walk in the park. It is a very difficult office because corruption robs us of so much trillions annually, my brother, my sister, all across Africa and beyond. And when you come to Ghana, billions of Ghana cedis go down the drain via the conduit pipe of corruption. Therefore, if an office has been specially set up, well funded, my brother, my sister, such that their bosses can ride in bulletproof cars and our police take care of them, their movements, left, right, and center. Even when they are going to the bathroom, police people are waiting. Guns cocked, ready to silence any intruder and relegate them to narrow, early graves. Hallelujah. Did Kisie Jabing fault? Did this one swerve him? Is he trying to give us an alibi? Was he on top of the game? Or he just conjectured that, oh, once this man is in power, no matter what I say about Ken, nobody's going to listen to me? My brother, my sister, at the time, Kisie Jabing was fighting two very important removal attempts. We all remember Alamisi Amidu trying to get him out as the OSP, having failed himself in that same office. Ken Kuranchi also came with an appeal to the president. They both tried. The president tried, but Kisie stood his grounds. Could this have distracted him? Should this have been a better alibi? And at the same time, too, we all remember that KPMG was instructed by the president to look into the so-called SML scandal, while the OSP claimed to have done a good job on that and was just about to pounce on Ken Ofori-Atta when the president said, hey, all guns, back down, whilst the KPMG is unleashed on this scandal. Could this have been a better alibi? In my opinion, yes. But to sit back and say, oh, we were going to hold him, but because his uncle was in power, we were powerless. No matter which agencies we spoke to, they were not ready to do that. Do we have evidence? You are lawyers, and you love evidence. You play a game of evidence. Can you give us evidence? Did you write to any institution asking for Ken Ofori-Atta to be held down, or you didn't try at all? These are the questions we are asking. Let's stop this alibi game and please work for the budget that we give you. I'll leave it here. Now the next thing I want to look at is quite interesting. They say a Galamsey truck collided with an EPA bus and many people were injured. Environmental Protection Authority, or is it agency? I read, President Mahama has to be ruthless in dealing with Galamsey, and this is Kwame Jantua, energy expert and member of the Convention People's Party. Kwame Jantua has called on President John Mahama to deal harshly with persons involved in illegal mining, also known as Galamsey. He said President Mahama must acknowledge that it is time for a declaration of a state of emergency in Galamsey areas as part of efforts to curb the menace. Now, speaking in an interview on TV3's New Day, the big issue, Friday, November 7, that's today, 2025, Mr. Jantua explained that President Mahama must take drastic measures to deal with the canker following attacks on EPA anti-Galamsey task force and some journalists, as well as the NIMOS team in Whittiam. President Mahama has to be ruthless. Look, if he decided at the time he made the statement that we don't need a state of emergency, today we realize that people can die. The EPA boss could have been killed. For what? For protecting the environment. No. President Mahama is caught between the devil and the hard place. But with common sense and support of the nation, we all can gravitate towards safety. Yes, Galamsey is bringing money to the economy via the gold board and what have you. But is it all about money? What does it profit a man to make money from out of destroying the land, flora and fauna, and later getting the same money to come back and fix the land? Does it make sense? Do we destroy to build, only to come back and build again to destroy? Hallelujah. That's sad. Mr. President, I have said it time and again. If we shot and killed 2 people at the Galamsey site, and I don't consider those people to be humans. In fact, they are worse than whatever worse you can put a name to. My brother, people are mining illegally. They don't care who dies and who lives. They don't care what damage they do to the land. Are these humans? And yet we are treating them with kids' gloves. Teachers have left school. They are now on the Galamsey field. Students have left school in all these mining places. Nobody's ready to go to school anymore. They are tired of school. There's a quicker way of making money, and that's galamsey. Is that not an existential threat to us as a people? Number one, people are no longer farming. Sorghum and millet farms are all of a sudden giving way to galamsey in Tongo and other such places. Cocoa farms all of a sudden are making way for galamsey in Obuasi and all over the Ashanti region. A time is soon coming. We can only point to our children photographs of cocoa in the books. The real cocoa would have long been gone. Mr. President, we voted you into power to take very good decisions on our behalf. It is important to have the economy thrive. Galamsey is not the only way. Gold mining is not the only way our economy can thrive. Let's go into heavy agriculture, which is so beneficial to our livelihoods. Let's look at the cash crops. Let's look at feeding ourselves. We produce the best cocoa in the world, but this best cocoa is threatened by galamsey. We have the best yellow yams in the world. My brother, my sister, even the Jamaican yellow yam is not able to rival the Ghanaian yam. Yet, we leave all these blessings and run after curses. Mr. President, please be ruthless with this galamsey fight, or else this would be another legacy that you don't want to have. Remember Dumso, which became your middle name? You came back and proved yourself. This is the opportunity to clean up, not to pile up debt. I leave it here.